Testimonials can be one of the most powerful marketing tools you can have in your photography business. But how do we get awesome testimonials from our clients without coming across as needy or bothering them by email, and testimonials that actually do the job in attracting new clients, not just, Jamie was great, we loved our experience. Not very compelling. So I'm going to lead you through 4 different steps today to get awesome testimonials for your business. So let's get started. The first tip I have for you is a testimonial hack, because it's not receiving a testimonial at all. Instead, it's paying attention to your client's words when you're hanging out with them at the end of the session, on the wedding day when they say goodbye and they give you a hug and they let you know how awesome the experience was. It's paying attention to these words, writing them down when you get home or when you think about them, think about those words, and then following up with the client by email. If it's after the wedding, definitely follow up a few weeks after when you deliver the gallery or something like that. If it's the engagement session, follow up within a few days and say, hey, I'm gathering some testimonials for my website. I really appreciated the words you shared with me about such and such, and reiterate their words back to them and say, this is what I remember you saying. If anything needs switching or you're not comfortable with me using it, please let me know. Please feel free to add, take away from this, but I really appreciate what you said about me, and I'd love to share these words with other clients. Now, 90% of the time, you'll have clients respond back and say, I love this, this is great, and they might even add a sentence or two. And what's great about this is it's more of a conversational testimonial versus, as I said, the experience was great, we loved our photos, hire Jamie, you won't be disappointed. There's nothing wrong with that testimonial, but it's not quite the attention-grabbing testimonial that we're looking for. So that would be the first key, to listen to your client's words, rewrite them, and then get approval. The second tip, if you don't feel like you had any of your clients' words to be able to rewrite and share with them, is just simply asking after you deliver the engagement session or the wedding day gallery. I actually have an automated email set up. So I email clients about 4 weeks after the wedding day, 4 weeks after they got their gallery. So they have some time to digest the gallery, enjoy the images, and so I'm not immediately like, here's the gallery, tell me what you think about it. There's a bit of time in between for them to just savor that experience. And in this email, I asked them a few questions. I asked them if they'd be willing to provide a testimonial, and then I asked them what were some of their fears about working with a photographer or working with me. How did our experience help relieve those fears? What would they say to another bride who was on the fence about booking me? And then 4, is there anything else a bride should know or that you'd want to include in a testimonial? I let them know that they can answer 1 or 2 or all of these questions, and then once I receive those answers back, I respond, let them know thank you so much, and then I format that into a little bit of a paragraph that makes a little bit more sense, because obviously I don't want just these question and answers on my website. That's not very helpful. So I turn it into more of a conversational quote. I let them know, or I ask for their approval, and if they say yes, now I can use this testimonial. So the third tip, after asking for these testimonials, is to lead them into these great testimonials. So I touched on this a little bit in tip number 2, but rather than just saying, can you provide a testimonial? Instead, I'm going to say, what were your fears about working with me? How did I relieve these fears? Because if one of your clients has some of these fears, maybe it's about being in front of the camera, maybe it's about the trust involved with a wedding photographer, it's very likely that another client is going to have these same fears. So by leading them into these questions about my customer's fears, then these testimonials can address these fears without the client even knowing. And what I mean by this, without the prospective client even knowing. So on my website, if it says a testimonial was, we were so uncomfortable with the idea of being in front of the camera, but Jamie made the experience absolutely amazing and we felt like pros. Wow, that's great. Because if I'm reading that as a perspective or as a bride hiring a wedding photographer and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm super nervous about being in front of the camera, that testimonial not only says, we love our photos, it speaks to my fear. And then that's going to be a way more powerful testimonial and catch my eye, and maybe I'll inquire with this photographer. And the fourth and last tip about testimonials in your business is once you have them, use them everywhere. And don't just use them once. Recycle them again and again and again on your social media posts. They should be very prominent on your website. You could include them on your blog. You could include them in any other marketing material. It's so helpful to actually have real words from your real clients talking about your work rather than just us talking about us all the time. Other people's words and experiences have a lot more power. So keep a running document of all these testimonials and be sure to share them super regularly. I hope all of these tips bring you even more photography clients that you love. But if you're looking for a few more tips on how to market your photography business, head to jamiedelanewatson.com/50ideas, 50 ideas, and there you can download over 50 ideas for finding your ideal client. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a great week.